Hello and welcome to the Christine Minotti Bullwinkle Convocation Center and Arena here on Alumni Appreciation Day for both the men's and women's basketball programs. Today we'll be bringing you a doubleheader between the Eureka College Red Devils and the Webster University Gorloks. I'm Thomas Harrison. Alongside me is Kyle Cashaller, and we will be back after the anthem where Kyle will bring you today's keys to the game. Hello and welcome back to the Reagan Centers. I'm Thomas Harrison. Alongside me today, bringing you all the action, is Kyle Cashdollar. Kyle, why don't you give us a few keys to the game between the Webster University Gorlocks and your Eureka Red Devils?
Well, Thomas, coming into this game, Webster is one of the top defensive teams in the entire league. They lead the SLIAC in rebounding, assists, and steals, so it's going to be key for the Red Devils to really take care of the ball. They're best when they're in transition, but there's definitely a fine line between aggressive and just out of control. They're going to want to play aggressive defense as always and really get out strong at home against the Gorlocks.
Now, Kyle, just looking at the roster, looking at the starters taking the floor, Webster does have the size advantage. How do you think Eureka can counter that offensively and defensively?
They just got to work the ball inside out on offense. Like we've said in the past, that's another key, to get your shots outside but not force them, because they have several girls that can put up that three, and they're reliable to make it. Defensively, they just have to lock down the boards. They've had some issues recently with defensive rebounding, letting teams get a couple extra possessions that they shouldn't have, especially against this team, a good rebounding Webster team. They really have to lock down the boards.
This Webster team is holding down one of the top 4 spots in the SLIAC Conference. If the season were to end today, they would be in the tournament. This is a very capable Webster team, and this Eureka team has played their full potential today. And with a big crowd, Alumni Appreciation Day, stands starting to fill up. Certainly an exciting one here in the Reagan.
Yeah, another stat to go with Webster's defense. They've forced the most turnovers in the entire league, about 26.5 per game, which is good for 6th best in the entire nation.
This Gorlock team, a good one, should be a fun matchup to see here today, as the Red Devils going with the typical starting 5 of Ashley Harfst, Olivia Falls, Josie Morgan, Kennedy Dura, and Samantha Sarnes, as the opening tip is controlled by the Gorlocks. JC Morgan, the leading scorer for the Gorlocks, will handle most of the point guard duties today. Swing the ball to the right side, trying to work immediately down low, take advantage of that size. And what looked to be a clean block there by Kennedy Dura is whistled an early foul here. Not sure I agree with that one, Kyle. What do you think?
No, from up here it looked like that was all ball, but you never know. Maybe the official had a better look at it.
Heading to the free throw line will in fact be J.C. Morgan for the Webster Gorlocks. Her first free throw, nothing but the bottom of the net, as the Gorlocks will strike first, taking a 1-0 lead here, less than 15 seconds into the contest. Morgan sinks the pair, and the Gorlocks are coming out with a full court press, trying to trap the ball immediately on the inbound. Kennedy Dura has some trouble there. Somebody needs to work back to the ball, and they will break the press. Now have 3-on-2. Josie Morgan with the pass to Olivia Falls, gets that one up and in. A nice look there from Josie Morgan. Kennedy Dura did a great job of not committing a turnover right there when she was trapped on the baseline, found a way to get the pass out, and the Red Devils were off and running. So the Gorlocks again trying to work down low, and the Red Devils will try to trap. That one kicked out, a 3 long, no good, rebounded by Ashley Harfst. Pressure there off the rebound. Harfst double team, but she will split the double team, get it to Josie Morgan, who goes over the top to Olivia Falls. Falls may have had a chance at the basket, not sure. She just didn't know where she was, but she will get it back and put it up and in with the chance at the and one opportunity. The Red Devils are coming out hot here. Olivia Falls scored a career-high 17 points just 2 days ago, off to a very hot start here early. Falls will head to the free throw line now, hoping to convert the and one, and she will knock that one down. 5-2 Eureka, less than a minute into the first quarter.
Yeah, like you said, the first minute here, Red Devils have done a great job of breaking the Webster press. You can understand how they have so many, or create so many turnovers, because it's looked shaky, but the Red Devils have gotten through it.
The Gorlocks doing a nice job of ball movement here in the first minute. J.C. Morgan trying to dribble, work inside out, put her head down there. Great defense by Ashley Harfst. Now the shot clock is winding down in what appeared to be a clear travel, a little bit of a late whistle, but they got that one. It appeared Naomi Johnson took about 6 steps. Again, pressure on the inbound to Josie Morgan, and she will just try to fly by the press, break it herself, loses the ball. They're able to pick it up, get it off to Kennedy Dura. The whistle there will blow that one dead. Dura had an open look from 3, but the Red Devils here, if they can get Webster in some foul trouble early, could be big. This Webster team looks to have a very deep bench, however, somewhere where the Red Devils are slightly limited. A nice inbounds play drawn up by head coach Amos Arbogast as Kennedy Dura will put that one in from the right block. Olivia Falls pressuring the ball up the floor. Great job by her. And the Red Devils here forcing a turnover. The frustration from Webster you can see is mounting as the Red Devils have jumped out to a 7-2 lead here early.
Yeah, I don't think this is the start that Webster was looking for, obviously, and they clearly were not expecting it.
You know, sometimes when you put up those big numbers, you have a lot of hype around your team. You go on the road and you check off a team and you think maybe this one is just a shoe-in, and you start out slow against a team that comes out with a lot of fire. That looks like it could be what's happening for Webster. Although there, Naomi Johnson will knock down a 3, cutting this lead back down to 2. As now Webster pulling back on the press as Eureka showed that they could break it easily and were doing some damage right there. As the Gorloks defense there will force a turnover as they were trying to work that one inside to Harps, but just off the fingertips out of bounds. Webster here already quick to make some substitutions as Naomi Johnson will head to the bench for the Gorloks. They try to work down low, double team and a steal there for the Red Devils. Nice job defensively of creating havoc down low. So Morgan now drives, finds, falls, a strong move there. That one will go out of bounds off of the Gorloks. Fortunate there for the Red Devils as it looked like they just got going a little bit too quickly. Kyle, like you mentioned, there's a fine line between being aggressive and pushing the ball and being out of control. They go over to the top. Great pass by Falls as she finds Sarnes on the backdoor cut, lays that one in. And unfortunate there, you can't afford to have those kinds of fouls, especially with the impact Olivia Falls makes on the game as she gets called for the foul there on the inbound.
Yeah, that's one that's completely unnecessary. At the other free throw line, you just can't have that because over time those will build up and then you get in foul trouble.
So you can see Olivia Falls guarding the point guard here as the Red Devils sticking to their typical man defense. They will look to swing the ball to the far corner to J.C. Morgan. She is trying to work it down low. Nice defense by Falls, staying straight up. That one tipped away. Nicely played there by Harfst, out of bounds on the Gorloks as J.C. Morgan tried to tip that one back in, but she was on the baseline. 9-5 Red Devils here, 6:53 left in the first quarter. On the inbounds, the pressure tipped out of bounds there by J.C. Morgan. So we'll get another Gorlok sub as Naomi Johnson will check back into the game. Webster now back in the full court press. Eureka breaks that one with the stack. They get it to Sarnes. Sarnes, the Red Devils' leading scorer, will bring the ball across the timeline. She hits that one. Dangerous pass to Harfst, but she's able to corral it. Puts that one up off the backboard. No good. Tipped around, rebounded by the Gorloks.
Falls has got to be careful down there. Almost had another foul. Another foul.
It appears Falls is going to be playing a full court pressure by herself. And the Red Devil defense there forcing another travel, another turnover for this Gorlok team. Now, like you mentioned, if the Red Devils can win the turnover battle, they certainly have a good shot at this one. As Dura looking to get inside to Falls, she will drive through the lane, kick out to Morgan. Thinks about it, step back jumper. That one off the backboard, no good. Long rebound corralled by Olivia Falls. And now Falls will be fouled by number 20, Lauren Freeman. 9-5 Red Devils with the 4-point advantage here. 6 minutes and 12 seconds in the first quarter of action. Harfst will inbound from the near baseline. As Falls finds a cutting Morgan, she spins back to the middle, puts that one up, no good, tipped around, long rebounded by the Gorloks, and they are off and running. They try to get to the basket. That one tipped away by Sam Sarnes. Great hands there as Lauren Freeman thought she had an open look to the basket, but Sarnes able to poke that one out of bounds. Gorloks look to inbound. They try to go down low. That one no good. The second chance opportunity fought for and rebounded by Ashley Harfst. Great job of limiting that second chance opportunity. So now Dura slows it down. hesitated, got to the basket. That one blocked. It will be out of bounds, and the ball will remain with the Red Devils. Now Eureka sees their first substitutions of the game as Seals and Marissa Murphy check into the contest. Morgan inbounds it to Seals. Seals looking to dish that one off. She gives it to Harsh. Almost lost that one. She's able to get it back, drive through the lane, put it up and in with the left, and she will head to the free throw line. Another chance, an and one opportunity. Kyle, the Red Devils are doing a great job finishing at the basket. You have to hope to see that continue as this Gorlock team with a lot of size, but the Red Devils proving that they are much more physical.
Yeah, absolutely. Harf's just showed her strength right there, being able to go up and stay with it, even with the contact.
So Red Devils push this lead to 6. Harf's here hoping to extend it to 7. Knocks that one down, 12-5, 5:38 in the first quarter. As the Gorlocks, you can see the frustration on the bench. It's head coach Jordan Olofsson just not happy about what he's seeing out of this Gorlock team early. He's now trying to work the ball inside out, try to put a move on down low. Marissa Murphy tried to strip that one out, but she got some of the arm. And now J.C. Morgan will head back to the free throw line. Morgan, the leading scorer for the Gorlocks. We have seen her working outside, trying to get some outside shots, and now she has shifted down to the block, trying to put some post moves on. So her first free throw will rattle around the rim, no good. Still 12-5 here with 5:23 remaining in the first quarter. Second free throw attempt rattles around, but this one will fall. 12-6 here as the Red Devils have the advantage. Josie Morgan trying to break the press. She will now slow things down. Give it to Seals near the free throw line. To Murphy, a little give and go right here. As Seals put that shot up, expected to see a call there, whether it be a charge or a block, but a no call, and that one goes out of bounds.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same thing there, Thomas. One way or another, I don't understand how there's no call there.
Definitely think there should have been a whistle, but that will just go down as a turnover for the Red Devils. Unfortunate there. Seals put her head down, was looking to get to the basket, but it appeared Josie Morgan was wide open on the wing. So now the Gorlocks trying to work on the baseline, go over the top there, and a block from behind from Kennedy Dura. Well, they get it out to Seals. Seals, she can win the foot race right there. Puts it up, lays that one in with some contact. Again, these Red Devils are finishing everything at the basket. Now Seals will pick up the man as she crosses half court. Back to Morgan there, trying to work down low. That one's stolen away by the Red Devils. Josie Morgan drives to the basket, puts that one up, tipped out. Seals thought she had somebody there, tipped it out of bounds. Not a bad take there from Morgan, just a lot of contact at the back end of it.
The Red Devils are showing great hands on defense so far in the first half of this first quarter. It's exactly what they need to do coming out, play aggressive defense and run in transition, and they haven't been overly aggressive, so they're just playing a great game so far.
Yeah, very much like the keys you mentioned to the game, Kyle, just being aggressive on defense and limiting those mistakes. And right there, another turnover for the Red Devils. So you can see the frustration from head coach Jordan Olofsson as that one there, the ball loose on the floor for just too long, and the Gorlocks get that one and an easy 2 in transition. Really the first time we've seen the Red Devils kind of lost there on offense. So now Seals gets the ball, and she will pull things out. Dura thought she had a good look at it from the inbounds, but wisely they will pull that one out, and Dura now will head to the free throw line for 2 after she splits the double team. 14-8 Eureka, 3:41 here in the first quarter. A lot of action early, a very quickly paced game here. Dura's first free throw attempt is good. And now number 5, Kiara Rhines will check in for the Gorlocks, and number 30, Jakisha Hawkins will check in after this next free throw. That one is good. Dura knocks down the pair, and she will get a quick breather as Hawkins will check into the game.
One thing I noticed, Thomas, when Olivia Falls was out of the game, the Red Devils kept it going. Last broadcast we did against Spalding, it seemed that when Falls came out of the game the first time, Spalding was able to get back into it. And this time the Red Devils did a great job of just keeping everything the same and staying aggressive.
Right there, Josie Morgan gets aggressive, and she wins the rebound battle as the smallest player on the floor. She went up and got that one, and she will be fouled now, heading to the free throw line for the 1-on-1 opportunity. It's Red Devils here, this Gorlock team leading the conference in rebounds, steals, and the Red Devils out-rebounding and winning the turnover battle here in the first quarter. Morgan's first free throw long off the back of the iron, no good. So Red Devils still hold an 8-point lead over the Webster Gorlocks.
As the season has gone on, it's been fun to see Morgan mature. I remember the first game we covered, there were maybe three travels that Morgan committed, but over time she's really become one of the most stable Red Devils they have.
Yeah, certainly going to be an exciting player to watch for years to come, as she is part of the youth movement here for this Red Devil squad, with a lot of freshmen seeing meaningful minutes here. As the Gorlocks swing that one around, the three long, rebounded, however, by the Gorlocks, high off the backboard. No good, tipped out. Great job by Falls there. While she tipped that one out of bounds and it stays with Webster, there were two Gorlocks in position to put that one right back up, but Falls able to let the Red Devil defense reset here. As a quick three from the corner, no good, rebounded there by Morgan Murphy. Now Jakeisha Hawkins will have the ball in the corner. She is trying to work down low. This Gorlock defense really stepping up their pressure, not letting the Red Devils do anything off the dribble. Jakeisha Hawkins now tries to put a move on, gets some space, takes that three, and she will knock that one down. A sharpshooter for the Red Devils as this lead is pushed at 12, 20-8, and the Webster Gorlocks will call a timeout as Eureka has all the momentum right now. Kyle, I don't know about you, but I think, like we talked about earlier, Webster came into this contest thinking that this Red Devil team was just going to roll over, and they have shown that they are not going to put up with it on their home court, as they have jumped out to a 12-point lead here as we near the end of the first quarter. And hear the frustration coming from that Gorlock huddle. And on the contrast, head coach Amos Arbogast just trying to keep his team fired up. There is a lot of excitement there. Jakeisha Hawkins checking in off the bench, getting some space with a step back and draining that one. Great shooting threat to have on the bench for the Red Devils.
Yeah, you said Coach Amos Arbogast is just loving it right now. There's nothing to change for the Red Devils. They've played a tremendous first quarter.
Really, all you have to do is keep up this intensity. Just keep pushing this lead. Just keep the frustration growing here for the Gorlocks, as right there the Red Devils force another turnover. This Red Devil defense might be the best game we have seen from them all season against one of the better opponents they faced. To inbound the ball here to Murphy. She is trapped here behind half court, and they will call a timeout. Head coach Amos Arbogast calls that one from the bench. Well, Murphy's not a bad ball handler. A little interesting to see. You would have thought Josie Morgan maybe getting the inbound there, trying to break the press. Jakeisha Hawkins has shown she has some ball handling skills. When you take Kennedy Dura off the floor, that is one of the biggest things you lose. While she is just an overall leader, great passing, a big scoring threat, she is typically one of the primary ball handlers.
Yeah, absolutely. When she's off the court, you have to get the ball in the hands of Josie Morgan. And right there, I would have liked to see, once you see Marissa get the ball, immediately have Josie come back to it, whatever she has to do to get that ball.
So you can see they are denying the inbound to Morgan. So they look to go over the top, and they get it to Murphy, but this time she will fly by the timeline, and she splits a double team there. Great move by Murphy. She puts it up, able to get her own rebound, and they will reset the offense. That one tipped away, stolen by the Gorlocks. Looked like they may have gotten away with the travel there, as it appeared J.C. Morgan slid a little bit once she got it. But the Gorlocks put that one up, and they will be fouled, heading back to the line for 2 free throws. Hannah Cottrell stepping to the line for the Gorlocks. You can see after a little bit of struggle right there, head coach Amos Arbogast goes right back to his bench, gets Kennedy Dura and Sam Sarnes right back into the game. So now Seals and Murphy will check out of the contest. The 5 on the floor for the Red Devils. Dura, Sarnes, Morgan, Hawkins, and Falls. So this one inbounded to Kennedy Dura, and she has some room as she flies through the press, splits a double team, and goes right to the basket, kicks it out to Morgan. Morgan trying to put a spin move on as she'll be forced to pull this one back out. It's an aggressive Gorlock team. So now Morgan will head back to the free throw line as they are really playing a tight man defense. They are getting right up in the face of the ball handler, not wanting to let them get anything off the dribble.
Yeah, and you can see how they lead the league in so many categories. It's really impressive to see.
Yeah, really just a smothering defense as they deny all the passes, but at the same time, they are right up on their man. If they're going to get burnt, they're going to get burnt. They're going to live and die with that. But so far this season, it has paid dividends for them to play this tough, harassing style of defense. Morgan knocked down the pair 22-10 here as we are under 2 minutes in the first quarter. Trying to drive through the lane there was Cottrell, nothing there. Falls doing a great job going straight up. That rebound goes back to the Gorlocks. Kennedy Dura tried to get a hand in there, rip that ball out, but she will be called for what I believe is her second foul of the contest. One area where the Red Devils have continued to struggle throughout the season is foul trouble. Like we mentioned, without a very deep bench somewhere that it can come back to hurt them.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's been key pieces that have seemingly constantly been in foul trouble between Falls and Dura. It's your point guard leader or your post player that plays huge minutes and contributes big time to the team.
As Kaylee Hageman knocks down one of her 2 free throws here. Red Devils have the ball back 22-11, trying to break the press, trying to go cross court to get the ball across half court. There was Dura. That one tipped out of bounds. The Red Devils will retain possession.
This Webster bench is really trying to push the girls on the court to play aggressive. You don't want that momentum to swing back towards Webster. You got to squish it right now.
As now Morgan in the corner, she will drive baseline, put up the floater. No good. Rebounded there by the Gorlocks, and again they are off and running. 4-on-2 there, but a nice job of getting back defensively for the Red Devils. As that one, another shot that appeared to be a clean block there. It's called a foul. Sarnes was straight up. Looked like she got all ball right there. But another foul, and the Gorlocks will head back to the line as we are just under a minute here in the first quarter. First free throw, no good, as Kaylee Hagerman has struggled early from the free throw line. 22-11 Red Devils here in the first quarter. Hageman will knock down the back end of the pair, cutting this Red Devil lead 2-10 as Dura will break the press herself as she drives down the far sideline. Swing pass, nice look there to Morgan. Morgan one-on-one. She will swing it out, trying to work down low to a cutting Jakeisha Hawkins. Nice pass to Olivia Falls, and Falls was hammered there as she went up 4-2, and she will head to the free throw line. Falls has proven to be a very good free throw shooter, something that is often undervalued, I believe, at the post position. You just want a big body down there, physical, rebound, get the easy buckets. But when they're so oftentimes fouled and they're missing free throws, you're just losing key points right there. Falls, however, has proven she is lethal from the free throw line as well. She knocks down the first free throw, 23-12 Eureka, just under 44 seconds remaining in the first quarter. That second one will rattle around, no good, rebounded by the Gorlocks. Try to swing this one. Naomi Johnson will set up the offense from the point of attack. Now she tries to drive through the entire Red Devil defense, and she will get there, laying that one in as Dura had to back off a little bit, not wanting to pick up her third foul.
Yeah, you don't mind that at all. You can't afford to have Kennedy have 3 fouls in the first quarter.
So they're just getting a little too aggressive. The Red Devils with the turnover, and the Gorlocks get that one back. The jumper no good, rebounded by Jakeisha Hawkins. 13 seconds on the game clock. Shot clock is off. It's now 3-on-3. The Red Devils pull this one out, give it to Falls, a spin move through traffic. That one, she just rips that one away from the Gorlock defender, puts it up. It looked like she was fouled twice on that possession, and there was no call. Maybe the officials thought the quarter was just going to run out. You can see the frustration from head coach Amos Arbogast. I'd agree with him right there. She was very aggressive, ripping those rebounds away, going up, but she appeared to be fouled hard twice.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It appeared the Webster player was fouled initially, and then I think Falls got fouled twice. So the officials ate their whistles there, and we move on to the second quarter.
We've seen some touch fouls, but then at times we have seen the officials really let them play. Interesting to see how this one plays out as the Red Devils have the 9-point advantage at the end of the first quarter, 23-14. Certainly not the start Webster envisioned coming in here. And while Eureka, you want to defend your home court, you have to wonder if they even really expected to have a 9-point lead at this point in the game.
Yeah, in the second quarter here, Webster's going to come out aggressive. They have to. Down 9 points. Eureka just has to match their intensity, do what they've been doing. Absolutely cannot afford to let Webster back in this game.
Eureka doing a very good job in all facets of the game. A number that really sticks out to me at the end of that first quarter, Webster only shooting 3 of 13 from the field. The Red Devils have done a great job of making Webster put up some tough shots.
Yeah, you would think that number would come back up to about average. So it's imperative that the Red Devils stay aggressive on defense and try to force as many misses as possible.
Josie Morgan has the ball around the 3-point arc. We'll give that one to Olivia Falls. Kick that one out in the corner. Warren's 3-point attempt, no good. Rebounded by Falls, and she goes right back up, no good, but she tips that one back. And she will be called for the over-the-back foul right there, as she was hoping for a third chance at it, shaking her head as she runs down the floor, frustrated with herself right there. As now Seals will check into the contest for Falls.
Of all the fouls or plays that we thought were fouls that the officials have neglected to call, I'm a little surprised that they called that one.
Yeah, that one seemed to be one of the more minor infractions we have seen so far. As right there, again, a body hits the floor. Looked like it could have been a foul call. No call there. So Red Devils will benefit from that one, get the ball back. Kennedy Dura thinks about the 3. Kicks that one to a wide-open Harps. Great court vision. That one a long rebound corralled by Sarnes as she is double-teamed in the corner. She'll pull that one out, and the Red Devils will reset. Dura trying to work the ball down low. She finds Josie Morgan one-on-one, looking to put the moves on. She comes off a screen, gives it to Dura. Tries to find the cutting Sarnes there, and Sarnes will be called for the charge. Again, you heard the whistle. We're trying to wonder, that was one of those situations where the call could really go either way. 23-14 here, Eureka over Webster. 8:55 in the second period of play. Now Naomi Johnson will once again bring the ball across the floor for the Gorlocks. She will swing it out to J.C. Morgan. Back to Johnson. Johnson's 3, no good. Rebounded by Seals. Seals will give it to Dura, as Dura will easily break the pressure there from J.C. Morgan. Tries to drive to the block, cut off right there. Pass to Seals, who puts her head down, puts that one in with the left. Red Devils lead back to 11, 25-14. So the Gorlocks really struggling to find their identity on offense here. We've seen them try to shoot from the outside, but again, that shooting percentage is very low in the early going. They try to go down low, and the Red Devils have been great defensively, forcing a lot of steals down there in the lane.
Red Devils might have gotten a little lucky with that jump ball call. I thought Morgan got her on the arm, but the official disagreed, and I'm not complaining.
So now there is a whistle, and appears there is a shot clock issue, and the Gorlocks will take the ball out from the near sideline. So they will now put 10 seconds on the shot clock, and the Gorlocks will inbound. Morgan's inbound goes. What appeared to be an easy over and back call, and there is the late whistle as the VAR official calls that one. I think that's a situation of you think the official right on top of it is going to call it, so you don't make the call. When it appeared to be evident he was not going to get the call, he makes that one. It's the clear over and back for the Gorlocks right there, forced by the Red Devil defense. Now Dura has the ball, trying to push the ball to the far side of the court, picks up her dribble, kicks that one out to Morgan. Great hesitation right there, head fake, gets to the basket. That one tipped out of bounds.
Ooh.
Looked like it could have been off of the Gorlocks, but they will get the ball back. So now the Gorlocks trying to work from the outside. In there, Morgan tried to split the double team, and she will head to the free throw line as she hit the floor. Fouled in. Jakesha Hawkins will get back up off the bench for the Red Devils and check back into the game. Morgan's first free throw attempt will fall, as now Hawkins will check into the game as that foul was charged to Samantha Sarnes.
Yeah, it looked like feet might have gotten tangled up there because there was nothing up top.
Right there, it looked like Morgan put her head down trying to drive through the double team. Like you mentioned, Cal, just the feet getting tangled up. Unfortunate there for the Red Devils. They now have the ball back, up by 9. Dura gets that one to Hawkins. Hawkins with the ball fake, no good, tipped around. It'll go out of bounds. They say that one is off of Sierra Seals, and the ball will go back to the Gorlocks. Red Devils did a nice job of breaking the press there. Kennedy Dura, we talk about it game after game. The court vision and just the ability to find the open man on the perimeter is incredible. Now Jakesha Hawkins will guard Naomi Johnson at the point. Trying to run the give and go there. As Morgan will kick it out to Johnson. Johnson's three-point attempt, as she will finally get one to fall. So this Red Devil lead cut down to 6, 25-19. 3 minutes gone in the second quarter. Dura now running the point guard duty. She gets some space at the point of attack. Goes up for 2, and she will be fouled and head back to the free throw line.
She was hammered there. That was probably the most obvious foul we've seen all day.
The Red Devils getting to the free throw line, a great percentage here. If they can keep up that high percentage of shooting, you have to love the aggressive style there. As Dura has done a good job of breaking the press, and before the Gorlock defense can really get settled in, just driving to the basket, forcing someone to step up and commit the foul. As Dura knocks down the pair there, pushing this lead back to 8. Johnson now has the ball, looking to get something happening. It's a nice switch there from Hawkins and Morgan. As again a foul call. Dura had what looked to be the clean block, but they will call that foul on Jakesha Hawkins. Interesting to see the style of play here, as we've seen what looked to be some touch fouls, but then we've seen a lot of aggressive play. We've seen some no calls.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle trying to figure out what the referees are going to call and what they're not.
As now Dura will check out of the game, and Marissa Murphy will check back in for the Red Devils. 27-21 here after Webster knocks down the pair of free throws. Checking back into the game for the Gorlocks is Dariana Hunter. Gorlocks now putting on the press now that Dura has checked out of the game. Interesting strategy here by head coach Jordan Olofsson, as right there they try to force the over and back, and the turnover is forced right there as J.C. Morgan will lay that one in off of the Gorlock steal. The Red Devils doing a good job passing it right there, but going cross-court, dangerous pass from Hawkins to Murphy as they have to get the ball across half court. As just in the nick of time, the whistle is called, and the Gorlocks have forced 2 straight turnovers. With Dura out of the game, this team is struggling to break the press. So now for the Red Devils, number 21, Abby Swope has checked into the game, seeing her first action today. 27-23. Eureka leads the Gorlocks. Trying to work the ball down low are the Gorlocks. Now Naomi Johnson will pull from 3. That high rebound, no good, corralled by Swope. Swope goes to Ashley Harfs. She didn't know it was coming, but she will be fouled as J.C. Morgan came in trying to commit the steal. How interesting to see here. The Gorlocks really looks like they've tried to scrap the post game, and we've seen Naomi Johnson take several deep threes on the last few possessions.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting since they are so much bigger than the Red Devils. You'd think they'd want to get inside as much as possible. Especially
with the limited bench, you think you can get some players in foul trouble. Interesting strategy. We'll see. Maybe Webster looks to change some things up at halftime. As Seals, the nice finish with the left, as she worked into the lane, put that one up and in traffic. 29-23 here. Eureka now leads by 6 with 5 minutes and 30 seconds in ticking here in the first half. Swope there guarding the ball. That one tipped away and will be a jump ball. Possession will go to the Red Devils. Again, with Dura out of the contest, the Gorlocks being much more aggressive on this press. The Red Devils get the ball to Josie Morgan. Now the Gorlocks will back off. Morgan with the cross-court pass there to Ashley Harps. Thought about the open three as she will drive to the basket, put that one up. No good. Rebounded by Seals. She'll get to the basket and finish again with contact. Seals checking in off the bench and playing very well down low. And there again, a foul Red Devils just can't afford to have as Keisha Hawkins gets called for the block on what's really a touch foul, but at the same time, the Red Devils, you just have to keep the feet moving right there.
Yeah, that one was very clear.
As now Cottrell knocks down her first free throw, 31-24. Eureka with the 7-point advantage, less than 5 minutes here in the first half. Cottrell will knock down the pair. Red Devils will get the ball to Josie Morgan as she looks to break the press. She gets it across half court to Harfs. Harfs tries to drive all the way to the baseline, cut off there, kicks it out to Hawkins. Hawkins tried to drive and immediately cut off again by the Gorlock defense. Kick it out to Hawkins as she puts up the long two, no good, rebounded by the Gorlocks. Nice job there of Harfs cutting off the fast break. The Gorlocks will reset with Johnson up at the top of the key. Offensive foul there by number 1, Taylor Czar. She had the size advantage there on Josie Morgan, just got a little bit too physical off the ball. That'll be a turnover for the Gorlocks.
This is a big 4 minutes and a half here with Eureka having a 6-point lead. You'd like to see them extend it to 10 if possible.
So now Morgan here will swing the ball to Swope as they get it to Seals on the far side, and she will be called for the travel right there, just trying to work a little bit too quickly. Like you mentioned, Kyle, this second quarter has been much more in favor of the Gorlocks, while this lead still stands at 6, cutting it down from the 9 at the end of the first quarter. This Red Devil team has to get the momentum swing back and push this lead as much as possible going into halftime.
Yeah, it seems like you can just feel it coming with this Webster attack. It just seems like it's slow, but eventually it'll catch up, and you don't like to have that feeling, so that's why Eureka has to stay aggressive on offense and defense.
This Webster team, you look at their record coming into the contest, they stood at 15-5 with a 9-3 conference record. Oftentimes when you see those winning records, the biggest momentum swings you see are coming out of halftime. They're just so good at making adjustments. As right there, the great pass. But there will be an offensive foul as it appears the basket will count. It was not an offensive foul. It looked like initially they indicated it was on Webster. Now this will be an and-one opportunity for the Gorlocks. So they knock down that free throw. This Red Devil lead cut to just 3. It's Webster now with all the momentum. The Red Devils really have to squash this and try to push this lead again before going into the locker room at half. And Josie Morgan puts the defender on her feet. as now the Red Devils have the 5-on-4 advantage. Gives that one to Jakisha Hawkins, and she will knock down that three. A big momentum swing right there for the Red Devils, as she broke some ankles right there. And Webster, there will be a dead ball as Webster is forced to make a substitution right there. Morgan put the defender on the floor, comes down, kicks that one out to Hawkins, knocks that one down. That could be just the momentum swing this Eureka Red Devil team needed. You can see the excitement there as the men's team is watching on from the right baseline. You can see a play like that just gets everyone in the gym excited.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Red Devils needed. The lead was only down to 1, and that's scary territory right there.
As now a second chance opportunity will be waved off, and a foul there on the Red Devils. Red Devil with the 6-point lead, 34-28, 3:05 here in the first half. As now number 13, Alyssa McByers, will head to the free throw line.
You can see this game is much different without Dura and Falls in it. It seems like it's much more of a struggle for the Red Devils. Getting them back in the last couple of minutes of this quarter or to begin the third quarter is going to be huge.
You have to wonder what the strategy is here, if head coach Amos Arbogast will let them both sit till the end of the half and bring them out fresh, ready to start the third quarter. Or if maybe we've seen a few momentum swings here just within the last 2 minutes. We'll see if he's forced to bring them back into the game, as Josie Morgan does a great job breaking the pass, gives that one to Harfs. Harfs shot no good. That will be tipped out of bounds by the Red Devils. The ball will go to the Gorlocks. Harfs has struggled a little bit offensively here in the early going of the contest, but a great score for the Red Devils. You have to think her scoring will come around here at the end of the first half or in the start of the second half.
Officials have become very whistle happy here late in the second. Pretty much the opposite of what they had been earlier.
I believe they will call that one on Swope, as now Webster will head back to the free throw line again, being in the bonus. First free throw attempt, no good there for Cottrell. Cottrell will knock down the back end of the pair. 3-point leader for the Red Devils, 34-31, 2:40 in the first half, as Josie Morgan again will just break the press herself. She gives it to Swope, tries to go cross court. That one tipped out of bounds. But it appeared JC Morgan was able to come flying in and throw that one off of Swope, and the Gorlocks force a big turnover there. Gorlocks trying to get to the basket, cut off there by Harfs. So now they will kick the ball back out, 13 seconds on the shot clock. As that high arcing two, no good. Rebounded by Harfs, tipped away, and now the ball will go back to the Gorlocks. That shot no good, still loose on the floor. This time the Gorlocks will get it, but out of bounds. A big swing there for the Red Devils, as that one could have been costly.
Yeah, that's another momentum changer right there if the Gorlocks are able to come down with that and get another 2 points.
Now the Red Devils here have to keep this lead at a multiple possession games. Right now they have the lead at 3. Give it to Morgan on the wing. She thought about the 3. She will swing it back to Hawkins. Hawkins tries to drive through the lane, and she will be fouled there by number 13, Alyssa McByers. Now the Red Devils will inbound from underneath the basket. Josie Morgan will look to inbound with 1:46 here in the first half. Looks to inbound, has to get that one out to Seals. Seals puts up the long 2. That one in and out of the basket, no good. Rebounded there by the Gorlocks. Back to Naomi Johnson. Naomi Johnson thought about it. She goes cross court now to an open JC Morgan. Her 3 no good, rebounded by Josie Morgan. So now the Red Devils looking to push that ball up the far sideline. They give it to Hawkins. That extra pass to Swope on the baseline. That jumper is good as the Red Devils push this lead back to 5.
This entire quarter, it just seemed like Webster's been coming and coming and coming, but the Red Devils are doing just enough to keep them off their back a little bit.
Yeah, just like you mentioned there, Kyle, a lot of back and forth this quarter. Looks like Webster has had the advantage, but the Red Devils still hanging on to that lead. To go back up top, a step back, she thought about it. So now Johnson will pull it out. 5 seconds on the shot clock here as she tries to drive around the lane, puts that one up. Looks like Seals was in position to take the charge there. No call as Johnson puts that one in. So Red Devil lead back to just 3 as Ashley Harfs there is fouled by Johnson.
That last Webster possession, that's the second time we've seen a body hit the floor on a drive with no call.
Now, so oftentimes, whether it be the charge or the block, you expect to see something when you see somebody driving to the basket, a body hits the floor when it looks like really one-on-one contact, but a couple no calls there. Interesting to see, again, how this one plays out, where we've really, sometimes you see officials that want to let them play and you'll see a lot of aggressiveness that doesn't get called. And at times it's looked like we've seen that, but then again, we see some touch fouls, some little reaches, just slight bumps that have been called. So certainly unsure how this one is going to play out here as we close out the first half.
Yeah, overall the officials have done a fine job. It's been difficult to figure out what they're going to call and when. It's just confusing, really.
As Harfs knocked down the pair, this Red Devil lead back up to 5, 38-33, as there is a 10-second differential between the shot and game clock. Morgan trying to drive on Seals as she looks to go baseline. She goes cross court. As Gorlock, that extra pass, as about the 20-foot jumper right there will fall. Now the shot clock will turn off, so the Red Devils have a 3-point lead, looking to get one final possession. However, a great pass from Harfs as she finds Jakisha Hawkins, got lost there in transition, laid that one in for the easy 2. So now the Gorlocks, 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and Hawkins gets called for the foul, and that's just one you can't afford to have here late in the half, as that one will send the Gorlocks back to the free throw line and be Hawkins' 3rd personal foul. You love the aggressiveness there on the closeout, but just came in, like you mentioned, Kyle, just slightly out of control right there. Gets the foul, an easy one for the official to make. Is that her 3rd personal? Now heading to the line for the Gorlocks. Juliana Marrero knocks down her first. .36 here, 4.9 seconds in the first half. That free throw short, no good. Picked up by Seal. She has a chance to get off another one final shot. And they will call that a charge on Sierra Seals. And again, a big call as Seals will pick up the foul there. The Red Devils will see if they put any time back on the clock here, as it appears the Red Devils are looking to leave the floor. See if we can get this figured out, as now both teams will clear the floor. Big swing there as the Red Devils were looking to get back to the free throw line, but they will head into halftime with a 4-point lead over the Webster Gorlocks. A great showing in that first quarter. The second quarter looked to be much more of the Gorlocks, but the Red Devils able to fight off that attack. I'm Thomas Harrison alongside Mikal Cashdollars. We will take a quick break and be back to you with a first half recap right before we begin the second half of action. Hello and welcome back to the Christine Minotti Bullwinkle Arena and Convocation Center here on the beautiful campus of Eureka College. I'm Thomas Harrison. Alongside me is Kyle Cashdollar, and we'll be sticking with you for both games of today's doubleheader between the Webster Gorlocks and your Eureka Red Devils. In that first half, we saw an exciting one between the two women's programs from these schools. Kyle, at halftime, you and I talked about two main factors in this game: the foul trouble for Eureka and how different the game looks with Dura and Falls off the floor. Why don't you break those down for us a little bit?
Yeah, we've got Samantha Sarnes and Jakisha Hawkins each with 3 fouls, and Swope, Falls, and Dura all with 2. Those are going to be key going into this second half. You've got to be careful. You got to stay aggressive defensively, but you have to know when to pull off. Especially Falls, Dura, and Hawkins. This game, she's playing a great game. They have to be careful just to get off their man a little bit. Cannot get any more fouls early in this second half.
And we talked about, with that foul trouble comes managing the minutes, and the Red Devils, without a very deep bench, a small roster for the team this year, that certainly can come back to bite you late in games. Well, this Red Devil team did a great job of fighting off the Webster Gorlock attack. They maintained the 4-point lead here, 40-36. We talked about how different the game looks with Dura and Falls off the floor. As soon as Dura came off the floor, you saw Webster press, as she is one of the 2 primary ball handlers that I would consider for this Red Devil team in Dura and freshman Josie Morgan. And as soon as Dura comes back on the floor, you see the press, they fall back. You even see a light press on the Red Devils trying to deny the ball inbounded to Josie Morgan. If anyone else gets the ball, they are trapping. They try to force a turnover. If they get the ball into Morgan, if the Red Devils are able to do so, they will back off slightly, just a nice man-to-man pressure there. But it's certainly a completely different outlook. The pace of play changes, and that comes back to Olivia Falls as a force down low for the Red Devils, as she grabs a ton of rebounds, is a very good scorer. But she is very fast, very aggressive, and she will fly down the floor. She is able to handle the ball as well. So it'll be interesting to see if the Red Devils here can get more of a momentum swing back in their favor now, with Dura and Falls likely to be checking back into the game.
Yeah, exactly. The first half was really a tale of 2 quarters. We saw when the Red Devils were at full strength in the first, they were really just dominant. They had a double-digit lead, but when they got into foul trouble, Dura and Falls had to come out of the game. It's down to a 4-point game now, and it'll be a race to the finish.
And here, something else that's very interesting. While that second quarter seemed to be all Gorlocks, while the Red Devils at times made their push, the Gorlocks have still only led the contest for a total of 10 seconds. They're the first 10 seconds of the contest where they knocked down a pair of free throws, but that was it. This Red Devil team got the lead back and has led for over 19 minutes in the game. Just incredible for this Red Devil team against a very highly ranked opponent, someone that is one of the top dogs in the conference. And again, this Red Devil team, even when it seems to be going Webster's way, has been able to hold off the attack and has been able to maintain the lead here, as the Gorlocks will inbound the ball and now be attacking the left side of your screen. So now Falls and Dura back into the game for the Red Devils. The 5 on the floor for the Red Devils: Falls, Dura, Morgan, Harfst, and Sarnes. As there, that shot goes up, no good. Rebounded there by the Gorlocks, and you can see Olivia Falls not being as aggressive as we would typically see her with those 2 fouls. So Red Devils now attacking the right side. They try to trap Sarnes in the corner. She is able to get that one out, gets it to Dura, as she will swing that one to Morgan. Morgan steps back, tries to find Harfst. That pass almost got away from Harfst. She'll crowd that one. 12 on the shot clock now, as the Red Devils have to get something going offensively. That one tipped away. Sarnes able to come up with it. Now down to 5 on the shot clock, as Dura will give it to Morgan. Morgan, the step back 3, puts that one up. No good. Tipped around and rebounded now by the Gorlocks. A long possession there for the Red Devils. Gorlocks looking to tie this game up, and Dura comes away with the steal, and she is trying to beat the lone defender on the back end of that. No good. Rebounded by Josie Morgan. She'll put up the shot. No good. Rebounded by the Gorlocks. Again, an interesting no call by the officials. So now Naomi Johnson tries to drive to the basket baseline. She got too deep. Threw that one off the bottom of the backboard there. And again, what appeared to be a clean block from Samantha Sarnes will be called a foul. Something we didn't mention at halftime, but we did talk about off the air a little bit, Kyle, was not poor officiating, but just rather strange officiating. you don't really seem to get consistently on the types of fouls we're seeing.
Yeah, that one was pretty clearly the worst call we've seen all day. That was absolutely all ball. There's no doubt about it.
So it looked like Sarnes did a great job of getting in position and blocking that one. Now Webster unable to knock down the pair as they still face a 1-point deficit, and the Red Devils cling to that 1-point lead. So now Dura, great job breaking the double team there. She gets it to Sarnes in the corner. Sarnes thought about it, forcing the Gorlocks to scramble back on defense. That pass tipped but corralled by Morgan. She gets some space there again, puts on the dribble move. Great ball handler there in the freshman Josie Morgan. Sarnes tried to drive, tipped out. Again, the Red Devils working deep into the shot clock as now Sarnes will put up the corner three. No good. Rebounded by Falls. Puts that one up and in, and that's the impact Falls have, getting the backside rebound and putting that one in for two. Now Falls will guard the ball once again. As the Gorlocks right there, Cottrell tried to drive to the basket. Nothing there. Cut off. However, she will get that one back and lay that one in for two as the Red Devils still clean this 1-point lead. Now Dura looks to work quickly to get the ball to Morgan. She has a lot of space in the lane. Great adjustment in the air there. She will hang and put that one in. Well, Gorlocks looking to run back down the floor. The pace of play has really picked up in the second quarter. Again, you can attribute that to Falls and Dura being back on the floor, and it really changes the entire outlook of the contest.
Yeah, you can tell both teams really came out of the halftime break with a sense of urgency to really get things going.
As there, Cottrell able to put that one in for two. Cutting this lead back down to one for the Red Devils as both teams trading blows right here as Ashley Harfs gets the ball cutting around the lane. Double team, kicks that one out to Morgan. Morgan has some space. She gets it to Sarnes. Sarnes, the quick closeout there by Naomi Johnson. Kennedy Dura thought about the three, got both defenders in the air. Gets that one to Falls, and Falls will be fouled down low. Great job there by Dura. Teams know she's a lethal shooter, but maybe sometimes you have to think she doesn't quite shoot enough. She'll pass up some open looks, but right there she hesitated to draw both defenders, got them in the air, and was able to find the nice look down low to Falls.
Yeah, like you said, sometimes we wish she would shoot a little more, but there's an instance where it works out perfectly. You get a good look and foul.
That's the unselfishness right there by Kennedy Dura, a player that could just try to take over the game if she wanted. And very few people would question that. They've seen what she's done in the past. They know what she is capable of. So a lot of people wouldn't really question if she was putting up a lot more shots than she is. But right there, dishes that one off, gets it to Falls, and Falls able to knock down a pair of free throws, getting this lead back to three. Now Falls pressuring the inbound right there, but playing it very cleanly. Again, the quick feet and quick hands of Falls playing an impact there. So now Morgan will guard ball. Johnson trying to get something going, trying to find a screen, gets to the basket, puts that one up and in over Dura.
Right now to start the second half, it seems like everything's falling for both teams.
Yeah, scoring explosion from both sides here as now Dura gets to the lane, puts up the floater, just long, no good, rebounded by Webster. Nice look there from Dura, just unable to get that one to fall as now the Gorlocks looking to take their first lead, again, since the very early going of the contest. That two up, no good. Rebounded there by the Gorlocks. That one tipped by Dura, I believe, and they will call the offensive foul. And this one will go back to the Red Devils, a loose ball foul there. Very fortunate for the Red Devils as the Gorlocks have come out getting a lot of second chance opportunities on offense. Now Falls will come to the bench for a quick breather. Sierra Seals has checked back into the contest. Josie Morgan hands that one off to Dura. So Red Devils running a weave here as now Harfs will take it left side, puts that one in with the left hand. The Red Devils have done a great job of coming all the way along the lane right there, hitting a screen and driving to the basket. 48-45 here is a quick third quarter as we are almost halfway through it right there. As the Red Devils force a turnover, that could be a big momentum swing. As the Red Devils once again look to make this a two-possession game.
That one worked out for the Red Devils, but I don't understand how you don't see the travel under the basket. She left the floor, came back down, and then passed. And again, confusing with the officials.
You see head coach Amos Arbogast, again, a little frustrated there, but his Red Devil team is playing very well right now as both teams are trading baskets back and forth now as Dura will go to line, look to make this a two-possession game here as it currently stands at 48-45. Dura's first free throw rattles around, almost rolled out, but will drop. 49-45, 5:39 here in the third quarter. Dura knocks down the pair, 50-45. Red Devils here, you never want to feel comfortable in a game. You always want to feel on edge. You always want to force the pressure, keep up the intensity, but you certainly feel much more comfortable with a 2-possession lead against this very capable Gorlock offense. So now the long 2 will fall there for number 20, Lauren Freeman. Dura with the ball, trying to drive to the lane, gives it to Harfs, again coming with the left hand, puts that one up, tipped around. Harfs able to get that one back. She puts it back up and in for 2. The aggressiveness under the basket right there from Harfs paying off as she lays that one in.
That was an incredible job getting that offensive rebound. It seemed that there were 2 or 3 Gorlocks right around her.
Again, the aggressiveness, but not picking up the foul as your team is in foul trouble, and you can't afford to have a lot of that. Because right now Morgan gets the rebound, kicks that one out to Seals, and she has the fast break right there. She stops, puts that one in with the chance at the and one opportunity, the hesitation to get the defender by her. The defender got a piece of the arm, and Seals puts that one in. Will head to the line, looking to push this lead once again for the Red Devils as they have come out hot out of the halftime break. We talked about the good teams making adjustments. Clear, both teams made the adjustments, with the Red Devils with the advantage here to start.
That was really just a silly foul. In instances like that, you either just fly by and let them have the 2 points, or you take them out, don't allow a shot to go up.
As Seals makes the best of the and one opportunity, pushes this lead to 8 now, 55-47 as we are under 5 minutes in the third quarter. So they're trying to work down low there to Hunter. Hunter forces that one, no good. Rebounded by Jakeisha Hawkins, checking back into the game with 3 fouls. She hands that one off to Dura as the Red Devil offense certainly with the advantage right now. Dura spins, kicks that one in the far corner to Seals. Gives it 2 falls out to Hawkins. Hawkins 2 for 2 from deep today. Get 2 falls. Falls makes the adjustment in midair, gets the rebound with one hand, throws that one in, and she will head to the free throw line with a chance at an and one opportunity, as the Red Devils' physicality right now cannot be matched. Webster with the size, but Eureka with the heart right now, as they are getting everything to fall underneath the basket.
Yeah, that one was incredible. I have no idea how she managed to pull down that offensive rebound. It looked like she chucked that one up, no look, and then somehow was able to come down with it and get an and one.
Looked like the defender had a piece of her arm right there, and she went up, got that one with one hand, knocks down the free throw, pushes this lead back to double digits for the Red Devils as they now lead 58-47.
Well, a little bit surprised we're not seeing a Webster timeout here. It seems like it would be a good time for one. It's really been a quick Eureka rush here. I would think you'd want to calm down your team a little bit. You can see the frustrations mounting.
Now Webster trying to get that one down low to Hunter. Hunter double team, doesn't know what to do with it as she will kick it back out. The Red Devils look like they just have the fresh legs on the floor right now, as that one tipped away by Josie Morgan and fought for, ripped away by Falls. Tipped away there, and Falls, unfortunately, again, would look like a touch foul as both players were running for that loose ball. As Harfs right now checking back into the game for Falls, as Falls picked up her 3rd foul there. But Falls getting the applause coming off the court as she was putting on a clinic offensively, getting those rebounds, doing a great job for this Red Devil team. 58-47, 3:30 and counting here in the third quarter. So Gorlocks look to counter the ferocious Red Devil attack. They kick it to the corner, trying to work down low to Hunter, and she is triple teamed. Again, doesn't know what to do with it, tries to pass that one away, down low, tipped away by Morgan, but kicked out. The Gorlocks will find the open man on the perimeter, no good, but they will come away with the offensive rebound. They now reset the offense. So Red Devil doing a good job limiting the shot, but with Falls off the floor, the top rebounder for the Red Devils comes out. Morgan gets the pass off of what looked to be some confusion from the Gorlocks. The nice hesitation there. She will once again hang in there, put that one in, and now the timeout comes from the Gorlock bench. The Red Devils are up by 13. This has a lot of the feel of the first quarter, Kyle, as it is all Red Devils right now.
Yeah, it's been impressive. It's a few minutes ago, it was a 1-point game, and now all of a sudden, like lightning, Eureka's up 13 points, 60-47, with just under 3 minutes to go in the third. It's been an impressive little run.
And you can see the difference between the two benches right now. The Red Devils, the girls are fired up, and they are excited. They are putting on a show here at home. And for Webster, they came to the bench, and it was just silence. Head coach Phil Kaufman, pardon me, for the Webster Gorlocks, head coach Jordan Olofsson, he came to the bench and just looked at the girls in confusion. He really didn't know what to say. He is not used to seeing a team come out and really do exactly what they want with the ball offensively and defensively. So we get some updated stats here. Kyle, why don't you break down what you're seeing on the stat sheet for us?
Well, we start off, Eureka's free throw shooting really jumps out to me, 18 for 20. That's an incredible number. Dura's 6 for 6. Olivia Falls is 5 for 6. As you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Falls being a reliable free throw shooter is huge. Being a post player, she'll get fouled a ton, and she has so far today.
So Red Devils caught off guard there a little bit defensively, but able to make up for it. As again, the Gorlocks trying to go down low. And a foul called on the Red Devils. That one goes on Sierra Seals. Again, looked like just a little bit of a bump here, but the Gorlocks will inbound from underneath the basket. They get that one in. A nice inbounds play there for the Gorlocks as they are able to capitalize on the inbound. This lead at 11 for the Red Devils as Dura looking to make a move there. She kicks that one out to a wide open Seals, who passes up on the jumper, tries to drive down low, but Harfs comes away with a big offensive rebound. Now she will drive to the basket and be fouled, heading back to the line for 2 free throws. Again, Kyle, you mentioned this team 18 for 20 from the free throw line thus far. Harfs 3 for 3 during today's contest. She will head back to the line for a pair.
Another stat that jumps out to me is Josie Morgan is only 2 for 10 from the field. You'd have no idea if I wouldn't have just read that, because she's played, to me, a great game. There's a lot more to the game than just shooting percentage and points, and she's done great all around.
Yeah, there have been so many games this season where she has been the leading scorer for the Red Devils. But like you mentioned, if you hadn't read that stat, you would have no idea. You keep hearing her name called as she is playing a fantastic game, and that's what big-time players do. When they are slacking in one category, they really step their game up in another. They do exactly what it takes for their team to win. It's a great defensive showing here as they tip that one away, and right there the steal by Josie Morgan, and she will be fouled. As right on cue, she makes her defensive impact felt as the Red Devils with this 12-point lead, 61-49. We are under 2 minutes here in the third quarter.
You know, usually when I say something, the exact opposite happens immediately. So it's nice to see that I say something. I'm like Tony Romo over here right now with the calling it with Josie Morgan.
So Morgan knocks down the free throw right there, pushes this lead to 13. The Red Devils, we talked about half, could be a story of whoever came out hot from the halftime break, and it has been all Red Devils here in the third quarter as Morgan knocks down the pair. The intensity, you can just hear the excitement in the gym has certainly picked up in this third quarter. So now Duro will guard Naomi Johnson on ball. So Naomi Johnson is trying to do it all herself here for the Gorlock offense. She will finally kick it off halfway through the shot clock, but she immediately gets it back. Trying to work to the left side. Nice job by Seals there, going straight up, not picking up the foul, as Johnson has spent this entire possession with the ball. And now they will call that foul on Seals. This offense for the Gorlocks has really been the story of J.C. Morgan and Naomi Johnson. They have been the two primary ball handlers, and it seems like all the offense runs through those two players. As right there we saw Naomi Johnson use up an entire shot clock herself. As that one, the Red Devils fight for the rebound, wisely pulled back by Sierra Seals. She felt the pressure coming, pulls that one out. Now Harfs with the look at it. She will drive back to the basket. Put that one up as she certainly thought she was fouled. And there is a no call right there, and the ball will go out of bounds. Turnover. Possession goes back to the Gorlocks. 63-49 as we are under a minute here, and Kennedy Dura comes up with a steal trapped in the corner and stolen back by the Gorlocks. They get it to Johnson, and Johnson will pull this one out as she lets the Gorlocks get back in position as they set up the offense here. 50 seconds and counting on the game clock. As they try to work that ball down low. Harf's going straight up. Nice job defensively. Dura comes away with another steal, just picks the pocket, but then is unable to corral it after she poked it away. That will be out of bounds. The ball will remain with the Gorlocks. The change of possession there. The shot clock will reset, so there's an 11-second difference between the shot and game clock. Johnson with the ball, looking to set up the offense. So they try to swing this one, get it back to Johnson. She will pull it out, looking for the isolation look up top. Shoots a screen, pulls it back out. She has her eyes on the game clock. So now she will drive, get a little bit of space. What looked like it could have been a push there. And unfortunate for the Red Devils there, as Kennedy Dura came down limping on that one. Looks like she landed awkwardly on the ankle. She is down on the floor. Head trainer Chris Sharkey will go get her looked at. Hopefully everything is okay there for Dura. So both teams will head to the bench for a quick breather while they get this figured out, hoping to make sure Dura is okay. Both for her sake, of course, you never want to see any injuries, but as well for the Red Devils, as we talked about the impact and how the speed of the entire game changes for both sides when she is off the floor. She is up and walking under her own power. She will head back to the locker room with head trainer Chris Sharkey.
Yeah, it's good to see her walk off under her own power, but that's always scary.
You saw her hit the floor. Looks like she may have just landed awkwardly or perhaps even landed on someone's foot right there. Hate to see it happen. Hopefully everything is okay for her, as now the Red Devils will get the ball back with the shot clock off, forcing the pressure there. Like we talked about, as soon as Dura checks out of the contest, here comes the press from the Gorlocks. Get the ball to Hawkins. 5 seconds left on the game clock. They give it to Murphy, give it to Harfs. Harfs puts up the high arcing three, gets that one to fall at the buzzer, pushing this lead to 15. Big time shot there from Ashley Harfs. We talked about struggled early offensively, but right there knocks down a big three. As the Red Devils go up by 15, 66-51. You can see the frustration here from the Webster bench as the head coach slams the clipboard. He is certainly frustrated, and everything is working for the Red Devils right now. That press by the Gorlocks. Dura came out of the contest. They looked to get a steal off the inbounds, force that ball up the floor, broke the press, get it to Harfs. She is able to knock that one down.
Yeah, that's going to be a key, no doubt, in the fourth quarter without Dura here. Webster's down 15. They're going to have to press, you'd think, throughout the entire fourth quarter. Like I said, the key at the beginning of the game, just taking care of the ball. You have a 15-point lead. You don't need to force anything. You have to get across the half court, and then you're good to go.
Something huge for the Red Devils there in that third quarter. We talked about the foul trouble. Nobody picked up a fourth foul. We saw very few fouls from the Red Devils in general, but again, nobody with more than three. Quite a few players with the 2 fouls. You've still got quite a few to work with there. As here, up by 15, you can't back off at all. You have to keep up the intensity, keep up this high pace of play.
Yeah, no one with a fourth foul is huge because they can pretty much play free here in the fourth quarter. Obviously, you don't want to pick up a fourth foul early on, but you're playing much freer than you were at the beginning of the half.
As the Red Devils will inbound the ball to start the fourth quarter, attacking the right side of your screen. Ball handled by Murphy. Murphy getting a couple screens. She gets that ball to Hawkins. Hawkins has some space, pulls up. The deep 2 will fall for Hawkins as she had nobody near her. Could have looked to drive to the basket, but she just pulled up, knocked that one down. This Red Devil lead now at 17 points. Trying to work the ball down low, the Gorlocks, as they're able to get an easy one from the block. The 15-point lead. Kyle, like you mentioned, this lead was down to 1 about a quarter of the way through that third quarter of action, and then the Red Devils just came out hot. A couple of big and 1 opportunities they were able to convert. So right there, the Red Devils just trying to do a little bit too much. That pass will go out of bounds, a turnover for Eureka. You see Josie Morgan there, a freshman, but you see the veteran leadership right there as she goes right up to Murphy, settles her down, and just tells her you have to just keep your head in it and just be relaxed. Can't let the intensity of this game affect your play right there, as a big three from Webster will cut the lead to 12. What is almost another turnover for the Red Devils. Go to Harfs, poked away, corralled by Murphy as they swing that one out to Hawkins. Hawkins slows this thing down wisely, and she will get it out to Morgan. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Hawkins' three-point attempt blocked right there. It will go out of bounds, and the Red Devils will inbound the ball with 9 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, it seems like this game's moving really fast for the Red Devils right now. They just need to gain their composure, slow it down in their minds, and just really focus on taking care of the ball.
As here we see Kennedy Dura emerging from the tunnel as she is coming back to the bench. This could be huge for the Red Devils as she looks to be walking pretty well on that ankle, as there is a foul on Webster. And the Red Devils will get to inbound now with a fresh shot clock.
Yeah, Dura looks like she's walking just fine. As you said, trainer Chris Sharkey is not by her side, so you got to think that's a good sign.
Yeah, she came out under her own power, heads right to the bench, and it looks like she is ready to go. That could be huge for this Red Devil team, just between the veteran leadership, but again, the pace of play, the ball handling ability when it comes up so big late in these contests. Jakeisha Hawkins' three-point attempt, no good. A couple bodies hit the floor, but Webster comes up with the rebound. Looking to drive to the basket, trapped right there. And again, a foul that it just seems like at this point in the game with some of the foul calls we've seen, not sure if I agree with that one.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
As now the Gorlocks will look to inbound from underneath the basket, down by 12, 68-56 Eureka. So they're forced to pass this one out deep and get it to Naomi Johnson. Again, the tight defense here from Murphy for the Red Devils. So everything working through the hands of Naomi Johnson right now for the Gorlocks. They try to get the give and go working, but he trapped there, prevents that from happening. As Johnson's three, no good, but that rebound tipped out and corralled by Morgan. Fresh shot clock for the Gorlocks, and the foul there will be charged to Marissa Murphy of the Red Devils.
There have been far too many second and third chances for Webster this half. Eureka did a nice job on the boards in the first half. Struggling a little bit more here in the second.
As right on cue, a missed three-point opportunity turns into an easy layup for the Gorlocks as they lay that one in, cut this lead down to 10. As we see now Kennedy Dura has gone back to the scores table, ready to check in at the next dead ball. That could be huge for the Red Devils. So that one goes out to Murphy, looking to swing the ball. Ashley Harfs with a look at it from the near corner. Gets that one to fall, and a lot of contact. Puts down a big three. Will look like it could have been an and-one opportunity. Pushes this lead back to 13 for the Red Devils. Harfs shooting certainly picked up. We talked about a scorer like that for the Red Devils. You have no problem with her, she keeps shooting as she has knocked down a couple big threes here in the past few minutes.
That's an instance you absolutely cannot have there. There were 4 Red Devil hands on that ball, and Webster comes away with it.
As now another foul on Marissa Murphy, and she was frustrated right there as she is forced to check out of the contest here, and Dura will check back in as Marissa Murphy now is fouled out of the game for the Red Devils. Seals now guarding ball as Webster looking to cut down this 13-point deficit. And right there, Jakeisha Hawkins steps up and takes the charge, gets the ball back, turnover for the Gorlocks. Taking a charge right there, something that can be a huge momentum swing. Really in basketball, some of the biggest momentum swings you see come from the and-one opportunities and taking a charge, just a big defensive play. As there appeared to be an issue with the game clock. And both teams will just reset here. The Red Devils will inbound this ball once again. So we get a substitution for the Gorlocks as number 20, Lauren Freeman, checks back into the contest for J.C. Morgan. Josie Morgan now for the Red Devils gives that one off to Dura, as Dura looks to get it right back to her in the corner. Looks like she slipped a little bit trying to drive baseline. She was able to maintain possession now as 15 seconds are on the shot clock for the Red Devils. They call that one a travel and a turnover there for the Red Devils. 6:22 left in the contest. The Red Devils just have to keep their foot on the gas pedal and close this one out. Now J.C. Morgan did a lot of scoring there in the first quarter for the Gorlocks, but has been fairly quiet ever since. Trying to drive to that far corner. The Red Devils doing a lot of switching here under man defense. As that shot goes up, they will wave off the shot as she was fouled on the floor, but it looks like they called that one on Kennedy Dura. As that now Dura's third personal foul. Red Devils defending the inbound very well, forced to have the long inbound are the Webster Gorlocks. Let's pull this one out. The pace of the game has certainly slowed down, Kyle, since we saw that very quick third quarter. And here in the early going of the fourth quarter, teams are flying back and forth. Now it seems like these offensive possessions are much more calculated, really trying to set up the offenses.
Yeah, and you'd think that would have to play in the favor of the Red Devils here, up 11 with 5.5 to go. You'd think each team taking slow possessions, eating a bunch of the shot clock, that's got to be good.
As that will be another charge, as it looked like, again, a delayed whistle right there. Not a delayed whistle, but a delayed call as you heard the whistle, and it looked like the official initially was going to motion that was going to be a block, but Ashley Harfs was in position. Her feet were set, takes a charge right there, gets that ball back for the Red Devils. Big defensive play there. It's like you mentioned, Kyle, you have to think, with the way this Webster team is shooting, they haven't been shooting the ball particularly well all game, so the longer they take off the clock, the better this game would settle for the Red Devils. Extra pass to Dura in the far corner. That one high off the rim, will bounce off the shot clock, no good. The Red Devils keep this 11-point lead with 5:10 remaining in the contest. Once again, make sure you stay tuned with us for the second half of this doubleheader. This stream will end, but another stream will pop right up on the Eureka Red Devil YouTube channel. Make sure you tune in as both men's squads for Eureka and Webster will take the floor for the second half of our Alumni Day doubleheader. So we get some substitutions checking in for the Gorlocks. They will inbound the ball right now, and Josie Morgan will apply light pressure as they bring the ball across the timeline. Seals now has checked into the contest for the Red Devils, guarding on ball. Again, Webster moving much more slowly here as now Hunter goes up, puts that one in. Hunter has a size advantage on anyone on the floor, and she made use of it right there as she cuts this lead back down to single digits. So that one almost a turnover for the Red Devils, as we still see Olivia Falls on the bench for the Red Devils. You certainly have to think she is going to be checking into the contest soon. She only has 2 personal fouls, but she has been on the bench for quite some time.
Yeah, I was thinking that exact same thing. Maybe Coach Arbogast just thinking he wants his ball handlers in the game right now to handle this pressure from Webster. But, yeah, you'd think you'd want Falls in the game here pretty shortly. A force on the boards for sure.
Falls was definitely a spark plug while she was in the contest early. We'll have to think she will check in here down the stretch. She is also a very good free throw shooter. As you start to play the foul game, you want rebounders and foul shooters on the floor, and she is really the best of both worlds right there. Now this timeout comes. So the Red Devils, once again, this lead cut to single digits, but they still are up by 9, 71-62 with 4:38 left in the contest. As a stat that astounds me as we go over everything is still the fact that with as close as this game has seemed, while the Red Devils have jumped out to some big leads, the Webster has only led the contest for 10 seconds throughout the entirety of the game.
Yeah, it's really incredible. Would not expect that coming in to the day with Webster with a record of 15-5 overall and 9-3 in the conference, like you stated earlier. Definitely Webster was not expecting this. They, especially early on, it seemed like they came in here very confident, maybe overconfident, and didn't start well, and it's carried over.
Sometimes you can, in fact, be your worst enemy on the floor. Like you mentioned there, Kyle, I believe Webster really just came into this game thinking Eureka was going to roll over. So they call the travel there on Josie Morgan, even though it looked like the ball was tipped out of her hands. They say she lost that one on her own. There'll be a turnover for the Red Devils.
I don't understand that one. There's no way she just throws the ball backwards and then goes and picks it up. That was pretty clearly tipped out of her hand, but once again, I guess the officials don't agree.
The Gorlocks now get the ball working deep into these possessions. We are going to start seeing a limited number of possessions left in the game as Dura pokes that one away. And a travel there for the Gorlocks, forcing the turnover from J.C. Morgan. It's Kennedy Dura has done a great job checking back in. That ankle has looked fine. Great to see from her. You hate to see anyone go down. Love to see it when they come back. Now Olivia Falls has checked into the contest for the Red Devils as a steal there for the Gorlocks. They are unable to get the basket there, but they will call a foul, I believe, on Ashley Harfst. Will be her third personal.
Wait, they called that on Eureka? How? Harfst had the position.
As now the Gorlocks will head back to the line. On the floor for the Red Devils, we see Murphy, Dura, Harfst, Falls, and Hawkins. All the Red Devils on the floor with 3 fouls, with the exception of Morgan, still with 0. Interesting to see how this plays out. Somebody gets their 4th foul, have to be a little bit more hesitant. But you love the style of basketball Eureka is playing right now. Just unfortunately, a lot of this game being decided at the free throw line. As Webster will knock down the pair. This Eureka lead is at 7. They inbound the ball to Falls. Falls gets it back to Dura, and there the pressure will back off now as Dura brings the ball across half court, guarded by Morgan. She'll get that one off to J.C. Morgan as she hesitates right there, and the Red Devils will have another turnover as the Gorlocks are forcing a lot of turnovers defensively as they are really hiking up the pressure here late in the contest. They inbound this one over the top of Falls. Bring across timelines. We are now under 4 minutes to play in the contest. They work that ball down low to Hunter. Kick it back to the outside. That one's stripped away by Morgan. Great job there. And Hunter will be fouled. Have to hope they call that one on Morgan, as it appeared she and Dura went up at the same time. But once again, Morgan with no fouls, and they will call that one on Josie Morgan. Webster looking to cut this lead once again. I believe this is the first time we have seen Hunter at the line for the Gorlocks. His first one no good off the front of the rim. Here just looking up at the scoreboard again, checking the foul. Something else to take note of. This Red Devil offensive attack is very even, as everyone hovering right around 10 points. A lot of players in double digits right there, as Harfst with the nice box out to get that rebound as Hunter misses the pair. Now Dura trying to drive down low. She finds a wide open Josie Morgan. That 3 up just short, rebounded by Harfst, and puts that one in for 2.
I cannot believe there was not an over-the-back call right there on Harfst. That appeared very clear from up here, but once again, I won't complain.
Yeah, very fortunate there for the Red Devils, as it looked like the Webster Gorlock defender had position, but Harfst able to come up with that one as she has picked up a couple big rebounds here down the stretch. That shot no good, rebounded once again by Falls. Falls gives it to Josie Morgan as she will run right through the pressure. Now slow things down here. She gets a couple screens from Falls and Hawkins. Get back to Morgan. Morgan wisely pulling this one out, using some more of the shot clock as the Red Devils have a 9-point lead. Give it to Falls. Falls with the floater. got it to fall, but a late charge call right there as they will wave off the basket and the ball will go back to the Gorlocks.
That was a tremendous flop.
We saw right there, Falls looked like she had the touch, pulled up to avoid contact right there. Nice job of selling that one for the Gorlocks as they will get the ball back. A big swing there as that one wipes the basket off the scoreboard for the Red Devils. Also could be huge. You take into account that is now Falls' fourth foul. Foul there now on Ashley Harfst will be her fourth personal foul. So the fouls are starting to rack up here as the Red Devils hold on to this 9-point advantage. As Hageman gets the first free throw to fall for Webster. Knocks down the pair. This lead stands at 7 for the Red Devils as Morgan had the ball, and they will now try to trap Dura, but she finds Morgan. So they look to swing the ball. Gets it to Harfst, back to Dura. Dura wide open, thought about it, hesitated, and she will just run some more time off the clock. Runs into her own player. They are able to get that one back. Gets it inside to Falls. Falls shot just comes up short. Rebounded there by the Gorlocks. They're running in transition. They get that one up to Morgan as Morgan just throws that one up, trying to draw the foul. She gets the call. Again, at no point there did it ever appear Morgan was really trying to score, just trying to draw contact, and she gets the call as now that will be Keisha Hawkins' fourth foul. As it seems like what was in an instant, the Red Devils with 4 players with 3 fouls, now it is spreading out. 3 players with 4 fouls as now this lead is continuously being cut down by the Gorlocks as they are just chipping away with just over 2 minutes left in the contest as Morgan knocks down the pair of free throws. They get that one to Hawkins. The ball loose on the floor. And they will call that foul on Webster as fortunately Eureka able to get the ball out of the break. (73-68) here, a minute 56 as Josie Morgan inbounds the ball long to Dura. The dangerous pass will find its way through to Dura. She will pull this out, slow things down as you have to try to limit the Gorlock possessions here late in the game. Certainly, again, if you get the open shot, get a good look at the basket, take it. But right now, your priority has to be clock management. As a foul there on the Gorlocks, Josie Morgan is fouled, and she will head to the free throw line. And the Red Devils have been very good from the free throw line throughout the entirety of the contest. Very even scoring distribution and everyone doing their part at the free throw line. So they have all been very consistently knocking down free throws.
Yeah, the total is 21 for 24 for the Red Devils throughout the game. On the other side, 19 for 25 for Webster.
Morgan's first free throw attempt is long, no good. Like Kyle mentioned, it seems like every time we bring up the free throws, that's when a miss happens. Unfortunately now, as the officials are trying to get something figured out here in the lane, 73-68, a minute 40. Morgan will knock down the back end of the pair, extending this lead to 6. Falls again, guarding on ball up the floor. Has to be careful there with the 4 fouls. So now the Gorlocks taking their time here as we are under a minute 30. They drive to the basket. There's Naomi Johnson, lays that one in for 2. A wise play there by Kennedy Dura as she does not foul there with 3 herself. Doesn't risk a chance of an and one opportunity, but here the Red Devils struggling to inbound the ball. So you now get this one easily to Morgan. So they're looking to trap her. She brings it up the floor, but again, a great freshman ball handler here for the Red Devils. They try to trap her, dribbles out of it, hands it off to Falls. Falls forced to swing that one back to Dura. Have to slow this one down as the Red Devils will look to take the game clock under a minute here, with it still being a 2-possession game. So you can feel the intensity rising here in the gym as Dura gets a nice look at the basket, but a long closeout and the long reach by the Gorlock defender, able to swat that one away. Now J.C. Morgan lays that one in, and there's a timeout by the Gorlocks as this lead has shrunk to 2 as Eureka clings to the 2-point lead, 74-72 with 48 seconds left on the clock. The Gorlocks have gone down by as many as 15 points at times and still find their way to scratch and claw back into the game, and that is why they're a top 4 team in the SLIAC. They came in here, they are showing they will not roll over this Red Devil team, doing everything they can to hold off the fight, but some unfortunate foul calls here late. The Red Devils have really had to change their game plan defensively.
Yeah, they really, especially now, just take care of the ball, whatever it takes. Gain your composure. Like I mentioned earlier, coming into the fourth quarter, here's where it really matters. You have to get the ball into the hands of your ball handlers, Morgan and Dura, whatever it takes. Get the ball across half court and let them follow you from there. Actually, right now they won't even do that since the shot clock is 18-second difference. So take all the shot clock you can to get a good shot.
Yeah, right now, with a 2-point lead for the Red Devils, Kyle, like you mentioned, 18.6-second differential between the shot and game clock. The Gorlocks do not have to foul. They can be aggressive here defensively because if you pick up a foul, it's not the worst thing in the world. Send them to the free throw line, try to get the ball back, but they are trying to come up with a steal or force the Red Devils to force up a shot right here, as the Red Devils looking to extend this again to a 2-possession game can really change the outlook here in the last minute. Now Dura will look to inbound the ball. She gets that one to Morgan. Morgan now dribbling, taking her time. Have to make sure she doesn't get caught in a trap right here as they will spread the floor and let Kennedy Dura, the primary ball handler, work for the Red Devils. Just taking time off the clock as she just has to take care of the ball here. She drives. She looks to go cross court, and she will be fouled as they found Hawkins wide open in the far corner. You can tell Hawkins wanted to put that shot up, but Dura will be fouled and head to the free throw line. Exciting to see the intensity of this game. A big crowd here for Alumni Appreciation Day. As you can see, the men's teams have emerged from the tunnels waiting for their chance to take the floor as Dura knocks down the first free throw. Something you love to see, the support between the athletes here at Eureka College. As you can see, the men's team, they're coming out of the inbound, was over there just talking to their female counterparts right there, just trying to hype them up, get them, keep that intensity up, as now that missed free throw from Dura will keep this lead at 3, a 1-possession game as the Gorlocks get the rebound and call a timeout as there is less than a second differential between the shot and game clock. Webster here. Kyle, how soon is it before you put up the shot? Do you hold for the final shot, or do you try to wind the clock down a little bit but save yourself some time in case you miss?
No, you absolutely don't save for the last shot, because if you miss, it's over. You got to give yourself a chance. I'd say get a good draw something up right here. Get a good shot as soon as you can. If it goes in, then let it try to get a turnover off the inbound, and if they get across half court, then foul them immediately.
As right here, fortunately for Eureka, they do have 2 timeouts remaining, 1 timeout remaining for the Gorlocks. As right now you'll look to see the Gorlocks again try to get a good shot here, try to tie this ball game up as quickly as possible. If not, you've got to get the rebound. Now again, that's when the foul game comes into play, as the shot clock will be turned off after this possession.
Yeah, and Webster really doesn't even need a 3 right now. Get a 2 here, and they can, like I said, try to force a turnover out of the inbound and then foul.
As Naomi Johnson has the ball for the Gorlocks, guarded by Jakesha Hawkins. So they get that ball up to Hageman. So they're running the weave right now, taking some time off the clock, as it really appears they may just hold for one final shot. As now Hageman gets some space, She puts up that three, no good. Rebounded by Harfs. The strong rebound by Harfs with 2 Gorlock defenders around her, and she will head to the free throw line with 1.8 seconds left. As the Gorlocks there just went for the strategy of holding, just trying to tie this game up, not wanting to give the Red Devils a second chance if they did make the three.
Yeah, I don't understand that strategy whatsoever, because you have one shot. At least getting a shot early, you spread out your chances, or not spread out your chances. You have a better chance of getting back into it. You're taking a 33% shot maybe to tie it up and go to overtime. I don't agree with that strategy.
As right there now for the Gorlocks, as they will have a player foul out of the contest late here. Really, Harfs, all she has to do to ice this game, knock down one of these 2 free throws. Actually, I believe what is an and one opportunity, she knocks down the first, this game is over. And there it is, getting the lead to 4, 76-72, because now the Red Devils, all they have to do, just back off, make sure you are nowhere near the shot, because Webster would need a miracle to tie this ball game up. As that one will end it, she ices the game, putting the Red Devils up by 5. Webster calls their last timeout. Again, they would need a miracle right here. Off of the inbound, you would just have to throw up a Hail Mary shot and hope for the best, hope that there is some time left on the clock to get the inbound back, but still virtually impossible at this point as the Red Devils have closed this one out here on Alumni Day. So they're currently standing at 77-72 as they look to unseat the number 4 seed currently in the SLIAC in the Webster Gorlocks.
Yeah, by the time they would even have an opportunity to get a shot up, by the time it gets to the basket, the clock will run out, and I don't really understand the timeout right now because there's just no shot.
You can see the coach pleading his case right here as he's trying to make sure the clock management is in his favor. Like you mentioned, Kyle, really nothing they can do right here. As there, the shot will go up. The buzzer will sound, and the Red Devils fought hard from start to finish, leading the contest for all but 10 seconds here at the Reagan. An exciting one to watch as they fought hard, and the Webster Gorlocks as well. Don't discredit them at all as they played a very good game, clawing back from at one point what was a 15-point deficit to get this game back to within 1 point at multiple points throughout the contest. As thanks for tuning in to this stream. Once again, this stream will end, and we will have a new stream up shortly here for the men's contest. Thanks for tuning into this one. I'm Thomas Harrison. Alongside me is Kyle Cashdollar, and we will be back shortly to bring you the second half of our doubleheader here on Alumni Day.